Good morning, everybody. This is Z. Narasimulu, Associate Professor, St. Peter's Engineering College, Hyderabad. Today, we are going to discuss about field effect transistor. Here, which is having the some differences are there between BJT and field effect transistor. Field effect transistor, it is voltage controlled transistor, but BJT is a current control transistor. There you should observe that one collector current is going to be affected due to base current of the transistor. But in the field effect transistor, that drain current which is going to be affected due to the gate to source voltage. Now we have to learn some more details regarding this field effect transistor. Okay, here field effect transistor, it is looks similar, to the BJT, but you should understand the difference between BJT and FET is you have the three terminals in the BJT. One is the base, another one is collector, another one is emitter. At the same time, you should understand in the FET also you could consider the three terminals, but basically which is not having the three terminals, which is having four terminals. For gate side, which is having two p-type materials are keeping for the n-channel MOSFET, and two n-type materials are keeping for the p-channel MOSFET. This gate is having two terminals actually, which are going to be shorted each other. Then we can be consider only one gate, and we have the drain current, we have the source current, we have the gate current. You should be understand voltage is the FET is a voltage control device, and BJT is a current control device. The terminals which are uh, named for this BJT is collector, base, and emitter. The terminals which are named for the FET are drain, gate, source. You should understand gate of the FET is similar to the base of the transistor, and that is BJT, and drain of the FET, it is similar to the collector of the BJT, and source of the FET, it is similar to the emitter of the BJT. Okay, here the voltage between the gate to source is called the VGS. This VGS is the controlling input voltage. This controlling input voltage will control the drain current. Okay, but in the BJT, here we have but in the BJT, here we have the collector current, which is going to be controlled by the base current. Okay, then we have different variety of transistors are there. Field effect transistor, one is the junction field effect transistor, another one is metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, and another one is insulated gate field effect transistor, and some of them are classified subdivided like MOSFETs, like enhancement type MOSFET and depletion type MOSFET. First, we have to be look into that how the junction field effect transistor is going to be work. Before that, you should be understand what are the differences are there between FET and BJT. Let us go with the FET. The FET operates depends upon the flow of majority charge carriers only. What are the majority carriers of n-type material? Electrons. What are the majority carriers of p-type material? Holes. These majority carriers will take care of the current flowing through the FET. But in the BJT, it is going to be considered that one majority carriers as well as minority carriers, which are going to be taking care of the current flowing through the BJT circuit. So you can say FET is a unipolar device, BJT is a bipolar device. One more point, second point, you can be look into the FET. It exhibits very high input resistance. What is the meaning of this one? It exhibits very high input resistance. Basically, FET is consisting of the two junctions. One junction is uh, uh, one is between the gate to source, another is between the gate to drain. Okay, but in the FET, gate to source is always is a reverse bias. Okay, so that when it is always reverse bias circuit is open circuited. That open circuit behaves high input resistance. But when you consider the input circuit of the BJT, that is the between base and emitter junction, it is always should be forward bias. When it is forward bias, then what happens? That junction is in acting like a short circuit, so that there is no resistance. It means there is having the small amount of resistance of input circuit. Next point. Third point, under the FET, it's voltage control device. You should understand the drain of the FET, drain of the FET and its current is controlled by voltage which is going to be applied between the gate to source. Then we have to be know that one how the gate to source voltage is going to be controlling the uh, drain current of your FET. But here what happened in the BJT, the collector current that you can be considered the output current of the BJT is controlled by the input current. That input current may be base current when you consider BJT is the common emitter. Okay, and if you consider the common collector configuration, then what happened? You can consider the input current is the base current. When you consider the emitter is the common emitter, input current is the base current. When you say the base is the common bias, then what happen? You can consider that one emitter current is the input current. Like that, input current is not constrained, only it is the base current. Input current may be differ. Input current sometimes you consider it is base current, emitter current and collector current, and output current is also vary according to the what configuration you are using. Okay, in what configuration you are working at the BJT, because BJT working in the three configurations, like you know that one common emitter configuration, common collector configuration, common base configuration. And and in the FET, it is having less noisy. Here less noisy mean this less noisy is due to having the current for the due to the movement of the free electrons or free holes, or else you can be say that one due to the majority charge carriers movement only you can have the current through the FET. Okay, so that you can have the less noisy. At the same time, when you consider this one BJT, we can have the more noisy. Why? Because in this BJT, we are having the current due to the mobility of the holes and electrons, which are going to be reason to having more noisy. And the thermal stability is good. It means that currents which are named for the FET, like you know that one gate current, drain current, source current, which are stable, which are not going to be changed as temperature is changing. But the thermal stability of this BJT is poor. Why? Because IB is going to be changing. Okay, intern IC is going to be changing. ICEO is going to be changing due to the temperature variations. Okay, so that the thermal stability is poor. Okay, it means that you should be understand when you say the transistor is working in the active region, the transistor is working in the active region, then what happened? It is having the quiescent point at the center of DC load line. If the thermal stability of that circuit is not there, then what happened? The quiescent point is going to be moving upward, downward. When the quiescent point is moving, then what happened? it is going to be having some distortions at the output of your circuit. That is going to be reason to having the distortion. The thermal stability should be very high, so that comparatively BJT and FET having higher thermal stability. And immune to radiations, this is a point we have to be discussed. It is not going to be radiates the heat from the FET, but it is going to be affected by the radiations even. It means that lot of, if suppose if you keep that one transistor at the highly radiated atmosphere, then what happen, it is going to be affect the characteristics of the transistor, but it's not affect over the FET. Next, seventh point, it is similar to the fabric and occupies less space in integrated circuit. Okay, but here it is, you have to be understand the process which are going to be following to fabricate the FET and the BJT, which are both are same, but the space occupied by the FET, which is small in the integrated form compared to the BJT, so that BJT is replaced with the fit while you are fabricating the ICs, something like that. BJTs are not going to be keep in the ICs, only FETs are using and FET configurations are using while they're designing the integrated circuit. Why? Because it occupies the less space, so we can be keep the more number of FETs, okay, in the small space. That is the motto of the Moore's law, okay, according to the integrated circuits. Moore's law stated that one have to be keep the more number of components in the small area. Okay, that is called the Moore's law. The Moore's law is given for the integrated circuit. That is going to become satisfied when you using the FET to realize any circuit in the integrated format. Next point. The eighth point is, it exhibits no offset voltage at zero drain current, hence makes an excellent signal chopper. It means that no offset voltage, zero drain current. It means that though you are having the drain current is zero, if you get the some voltage, that is called offset voltage. Offset voltage should not be occupied, should not be existed. Offset voltage is nothing but without having the function of current passing through the diode or transistor, like you know that one FET and whatever it may be. But if you get the some voltage, that voltage you can be call it as a offset voltage. That offset voltage is undesired voltage. This offset voltage need to be make it to nullify, need to be reduced, that one. Okay, that is not there in the FET, but in the BJT it has in offset voltage at zero collector current, and it's not used for the signal chopper. And ninth point, you can observe, it has small bandwidth product. This is only drawback, but it has high bandwidth product. What is the meaning of this bandwidth product? Okay, bandwidth product in the sense, it is the measure of band of frequencies you can be allowed through your transistor. That is the bandwidth product is going to be measuring that one, what band of frequency is going to be processed. Okay, that is can be explained you that one. If bandwidth product is very high, then what happen, then you can say that one measure of band of frequencies allowing through the FET is very high, and gaining also very high. Actually bandwidth product is nothing but band and gain. It means bandwidth and gain, that you can be say bandwidth and gain product. Okay, that always constant, actually that always constant. So that bandwidth product, when you say that when it is less, that FET is having the less bandwidth or maybe having the less gain compared to the BJT. When you say that when bandwidth product is very high in the BJT, it means it might having the high bandwidth as well as the high gain compared to the FET. These are the advantages you can be consider for um, FET and BJT. Now let us look into this. Already this classification was finished. You see BJT circuit. This one. You could understand what is the BJT. No, sorry, a FET. There you should be understand. Here having the four terminals are there. Actually, one gate terminal, it is from the P, another gate terminal from the P. These two terminals are shorted and treating like a one terminal, and another terminal is drain, and yeah, another terminal is source. There you should be understand this is n channel MOSFET. How do you say this one is n channel MOSFET? This is n channel MOSFET because the a channel is created by the n type of extrinsic semiconductor. Here substrate is the extrinsic semiconductor, that is the n type extrinsic semiconductor. These two p types are diffusing into the n type semiconductor. Okay, then you can be say that one channel is created by the n only. This type of construction you can be call it as a n channel MOSFET. What the channel generally, let me consider channel in the sense it is used to carry the movement of electron or used to carry the movement of holes. If the channel is n, it is used to carry the movement of electron. If the channel is p, it is used to carry the movement of holes. Okay, this movement of holes, it is depends upon the what type of voltage you are applying between the gate and source, and what type of voltage you are applying the gate and source, and as well as the drain and source. The symbol representation for this n channel MOSFET is like this. You have to be observed. Okay, you have to be observed this one, you have to be observed this one is the gate old current is entering into the circuit, that is called the n channel MOSFET. If the direction is outside, that is the p channel MOSFET. We have the drain as well as source. You should be remember FET having 4 terminals, but among those 4 terminals, 2 terminals are extracting from the p type material. These 2 terminals are going to be acting like a gate terminal, which are going to be shorted each other and acting like a one terminal as a gate, and remaining terminals are the drain and another drain and source. And the current conduction ability of the FET, it is depends upon the applied voltage between the drain and source as well as the gate and source. This is very very important. Okay, for the p channel MOSFET, already I told you know that one here, which is having the direction of current of your direction of current of your gate is coming outside. There in the p channel MOSFET, you could understand we have the p type substrate as the channel and having n type material which are diffusing in the p channel. Okay, then you should be understand this one. We have a gate terminal, we have the gate terminal which are going to be extracted from the n type material and make it to shorted and treated as a one terminal, it is a gate. Another terminals are drain and source, which are extracted from the p type material only. This one is the p channel FET, and p channel symbol you can be observed. Okay, and unbiased JFET, you should understand unbiased JFET. It means that unbiased means you are not applying any external voltage. That is called the unbiased FET. You are not applying any DC sources, something like that, in between gate and source and drain and source. Okay, then what happened, you can be say that one when it is unbiased, here the p type having the you can be have this one at the p type, what happened, majority carriers are volts. In n type having the majority carriers are electrons. Okay, then what happened, due to this having the majority carriers of the p type and majority carriers of the n type, which is going to be creating some depletion region around the gate material, that is a p type material, that is called the depletion region. In the depletion region one, there is no existence of the any free electron, any free hole, that is called the depletion region. Okay, okay, in the absence of any applied voltage, JFET has gate channel junction under the no bias condition. The result is depletion region at each junction. This represents same depletion region of diode under no bias condition. You should be understand when there is no biasing, it means there is no voltage is applied between the drain and source, and between the gate and source, your depletion region area is same. Okay, for two sides. Okay, that region does not have any free carriers. Free carriers mean it may be electron or it may be hole, therefore unable to support conduction through the region. Next point, principle of operation of JPIT. Very simple, you can understand very clearly. Let me consider, if suppose if you are opened the gate terminal, it means you have not applied any input between the gate and source, not applied any input. Then what happened, you applied the some external DC voltage VDD between the drain and source. What happened, you should understand, this is the region will become more positive, this is the region will become negative. Then what happened, you are having the n channel substrate is there. What are the majority carriers of n channel substrate? Electrons. These electrons are going to be attracting towards the drain. Why? Because at drain side we have the field with the positive polarity, at the source side we have the field with the negative polarity. Electrons are having negative charge, field also having the negative. Negative will repel and electrons are pushing towards the drain. Then when electrons moving towards the drain, how the drain current will be passed from the drain to source. That you should be understand. Always the current is in opposite direction of the movement of electron. See that one, there is no gate to source voltage, it is having the depletion regions from two sides, two materials having same. Let me consider, if suppose if you have the gate to source voltage, what is going to be happening about the conduction of your FET. See, you see this one, there is no bias voltage on gate. Just to say that one, if there is a bias voltage, you can be understand. If there is no bias voltage, but it is having the some connection of negative, because gate is connected to source. Source was connected to negative of VDS, and plus is connected to the drain. At the time what happened, you could be understand. Okay, gate to source, it is a negative, gate to source is negative, and we have the gate voltage is somewhat little bit positive, a little bit less negative compared with the source. Then what happened, this is going to become having the depletion region will become less. You should be understand the concept of the uh, what do you say, concept of the diode function. Okay, we'll be explain this content again in the next video. Thank you everyone.